And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
If you're having a great day, or if you'd like to have a great day, just start your Saturdays right here from the center of the automotive universe, Bobby Likis Car Clinic. And I will take you on a road trip, and we're going to do that right now. We're going to ease our way down to, over to the east coast of Florida to Daytona Beach, where there's a lot going on. And Terry Sabiston is with us, who is the sports director for WNDB 1150 AM. Terry, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you in the house.
Glad to be here, Bobby, and excited to be right here with you as I was with Brett Bodine about 20 minutes ago.
Well, so what's the weather like? How fast are the cars going?
The weather is beautiful, clear blue skies. There's not a cloud in the sky. And with that, we're probably pushing about 55 degrees right now. So the temperature's a little cool. Not going to be a hot day here at Daytona, except out on the racetrack. And it's going to be a little cool tonight for the Sprint Unlimited. But once again, the heat will be out on the racetrack. Exciting day here at Daytona International Speedway. Right now, I'm actually standing on pit road. And once again, I started our broadcast earlier this week here from Daytona International Speedway from Victory Lane. And it's the same situation here. I was by myself in Victory Lane, and I'm on pit road by myself right now.
That's amazing. So, Terry, how does the cold weather affect? I know the track has to be cold, so doesn't that affect the temperature of the tires? Normally, tires run a couple of hundred degrees. How does that affect the handling of the car and the speeds?
Well, according to practice I saw yesterday, these cars are handling great. Kurt Busch topped the 200-mile-an-hour speed yesterday. I think he was only one over 200 miles an hour in practice, but they were running 2 and 3 wide in practice in a 16-car pack yesterday evening. So they are ready to go racing, and right now the sprint cars are, you can hear in the background, that's the Cup Garage. They're getting ready for qualifying practice for the Daytona 500 coming up here in about 20 minutes or so on Daytona International Speedway. So,
that's amazing.
The temperature has affected in some ways, and one of the ways they say it'll make the motors run better, but also the air is denser, so there's a play back and forth whether they'll actually go faster or not. The other factor here is we've got a pretty stiff breeze, and that's going to be an impact, I think.
I agree. I want to talk about young and old. I understand that Austin Wayne Self is the youngest driver to ever have driven over a 1-mile track and is going to be in the race today. And last year he was too young for ARCA to let him drive. So I find that very interesting. And just the opposite, Mark Thompson, I understand, is the oldest pole sitter at 63 in the Daytona International Speedway history. So we've got young and old on the track today.
Yeah, we do. And I got to talk to Austin yesterday, and he actually had super speedway experience. He was old enough to run at Talladega this last year. So he has one super speedway under his belt, but not Daytona. So this is his first time at Daytona. And he's got a pretty good teammate there with Mark Manson. And that's that team there is, to have a 2-car team in an ARCA series, that's a big help because you need all the help you can get out here. And then Mark Thompson, known him for years, great driver. I think his first ARCA race was around 91, so that gives you an idea. He's been around here for a while. He knows his way around. He's a great driver, and it's great to see him on the pole. And this was a new qualifying where they qualified in groups. They sent 7 cars out at a time, and you had 5 minutes to get your best time in, and then that set the field. So a new way to qualify, and Mark Thompson, the old guy, took advantage of that.
So how many laps on the 7? When you have 7 cars at one time on the track, how many laps do they allow?
They got that time, how many laps they ever want to go. If they want to go out and run 1 lap, they want to run the whole thing. It's their choice. They just got a group time. And that's what was talking to Austin. He said it was weird because he figured everybody would just jump out and head out off pit road, and he said nobody wanted to go. And so they sat there and they wasted a lot of time that he felt that he needed to be on the track getting some practice and qualifying in. And nobody ever really hooked up and got together, and they didn't get the speed they wanted in qualifying. I think he ended up 28th, but he said they've got the fast cars, they've got some rockets, so they're going to be in good shape.
And I think Mark Thompson ran 187. I had it written down somewhere. 187.
I got it right here. Let's see. Yep, 187.336, 48.042 seconds around this track. So that's falling pretty good. 48 seconds for 2.5 miles.
Well, really? Yeah, really. And, of course, you've been around the track. You and I have been around the track together, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we have. And I just finished a ride along this morning with Brett Bodine in the new Toyota pace car, some new things in the pace car. There's actually a roll cage that comes up over the back of the front seat, just in case it gets a little higher than your head, and also 5-point harnesses that are attached to that roll cage to secure in the car. And they're going to require Brett to have on a fire suit and a helmet during the race. So that's some new changes there in the pace car. But what a fun time. And Brett's he's a riot, and he makes it seem so easy, and he's just chatting away. And we're going down into turn 1 and 2, and I can barely, I'm having problems catching my breath from the G-force, and he's just nonchalantly chatting, about the new grandstands. But it was a lot of fun. He took us into turn 3 and 4 really hard, and that's just so much fun taking a ride. What a great way to start a day here at Daytona National Speedway, that's riding around with Brett Bodine in a Toyota pace car.
Well, yeah, and Terry, when we rode around, I'll never forget, we took out, and folks, we were on the main pit road, and we accelerate out of the pit, and you figure, well, it's going to take a while to get up to speed. We're in turn 1 and coming out of turn 2, and we're running 100+ miles per hour, and we were not in a race car, although it was a pretty fast automobile, a little pace car there. But what an exciting time that is. I can only imagine what it's like to run 200 miles an hour side by side, 8 inches apart from cars, and then turn left. How do you go 200 miles an hour and make a left-hand turn?
As Brett Bodine says, you hope that you know everybody out there, and they're your best friends, because there's a lot of trust.
Well, it sounds like you're going to have a great day. What time did you get started this morning, and how late did you work last night, Terry?
Last night I went till about the final practice was over at 8. I was supposed to make it out to Volusia Speedway Park to dirt track racing, but then I had this early this morning, so I knew I better not. I got here about 9 o'clock this morning, and I probably won't get home till 1 o'clock tonight. But hey, that's Daytona National Speedway. This is Speed Week. This is just the first of it. We got another 10 days, 8 days. This isn't going to stop till actually when I go to the Champions Breakfast on Monday morning after the 500.
Sounds like a lot of fun and a lot of work. One final question. Daytona Rising, how's the project going?
It's about half done. From the sprint tower, just a little past it, all the way down to turn 1 is finished. It is open for this race. 40,000 brand new seats. You got to have tickets to get into those seats. They're not going to let just everybody come in. They are going to do some open houses after the race where if you don't have a ticket for that section, you can get into that grandstand area, the grandstands looking around. It's beautiful. I've been up there to the top of it. You can see, halfway across the state of Florida, I'm sure, from way up there. It's beautiful, but a great view of the track. And those are going to be once they get this done, it'll be a premier stadium. But also what's under, you don't have to go upstairs. There's escalators, elevators, and that gets you up to those about 13, 14-story high seats.
Well, Terry, thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you get back to the track and enjoy your afternoon. Terry Sabiston, and Sabiston. I always get your name. I called you for years, folks, and I apologize, Terry. Sebastian. I called you Sebastian, but it's Sabiston. And so
it is Sabiston.
Yeah.
But Bobby, you can call me anything you like as long as it's not late for dinner.
You are so cool. Hey, thank you so much, Terry, and a best to Mike Multane and all the folks there at WNDB and all of our great listeners for years and years and years in Daytona Beach and Ormond and the surrounding area that tunes into WNDB and 93.5 FM. Our charter station for Car Clinic Network. Thanks to Mark Bernier, by the way.
Yep. First broadcast ever of racing on 95.7 FM right now happening here at Speed Week.
Here we go.
Our new FM station. We're live there. We're bringing that action to the track. Bobby, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Terry.